painters use paint in order to create their vision that they have in their head. And they use different kinds of paint. They use acrylic, watercolor, oil, etc. And they get a different image based on the kind of paint that they use. Photographers really are the same thing, okay? They use light, so they can paint with light, and they use different kinds of light, okay? So we have natural light, we have studio light, we use flash. Ooh. We use flash. What else do we use? We use gels in front of our lights in order to change the color, okay? Well, another type of light that people don't always think about is infrared light, okay? Infrared light cannot be seen with our eye, but with a little bit of a modification, you can see it with your camera. And you can really get some really amazing photos. Black and whites are definitely the easiest ones to get, and you could do those with filters, okay? If you want to get a lot of the color images in black and white or in infrared, you want to get a camera that's been converted for infrared. Now, infrared is rated by a different number system. The higher the number, the less light, infrared light, that gets through to your camera sensor. Okay, so for instance, Maven makes a filter called a IR720. Okay, it's a higher end number. You can get some color, you can get a few color images with it, but otherwise it's going to be a black and white photo. Then you have 830, which is pretty much all going to be black and white. You're not going to have any color whatsoever. Then you can go down to like 530 or 560, I believe, and you're going to get a lot of really cool colors, and they're going to be different. Disclaimer, I reached out to Maven Filters and asked for a review unit, and they were more than generous, and they sent me a ton of their filters. And the only thing I needed to do is to do videos. They didn't even tell me how many videos to do. I said I would do several. They will not see this video until I post it on YouTube, and they'll see it with everybody else. They did not tell me anything to say. Okay, they didn't tell me that I needed to send them the video first. They didn't, nothing. They had no control whatsoever of this video. Okay, they have been an amazing partner to work with, and I tell you, their customer service is fantastic. And I'll tell you, you know what? You would never get service like this from Polar Pro, K&F, Freewell. I've dealt with their customer service. Don't even get me started on Freewell, okay? So, but Maven, their customer service, I deal with someone named Adam, and every time I email the support email, he's the one that responds to me. Now, I will tell you that I do have an affiliate link in the description below. I will get a small portion of the sale just for having the affiliate link and doing the videos, etc. But otherwise, they are not really sponsoring me. They're not paying me. There's no cash just changing hands whatsoever. Only if you use that link, and the price will not change for you. It doesn't go up because I'm getting a portion. Still the same price that anybody will get them for, okay? So go ahead and give them a try. They have a bunch of them. Their Kickstarter just ended, so you won't be able to get their Wave 3 right now. I'm sure that, I think they start coming out late October, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's when you're going to start seeing them actually for sale on their website. But infrared filters, I love doing infrared photography. They sent me two different ones. They sent me a 720 that's magnetic, and then they sent me an 830 that's screw-on. This one's a prototype. I believe this one is part of their Wave 3 Kickstarter that just ended last week, I believe it was. So this one you should be seeing out, hopefully in magnetic form soon. This one is the 720, which is the main one that I'm going to be using today. Now, as I said earlier, The higher the number, the less regular light will get through to your lens and only infrared light, okay? Which means the higher the number, less color, okay? Now, if you get like a 520 or a 530 filter, or you really can't get a filter like this, you'd have to get a converted camera. You would get a ton of color. They look amazing with the colors. You get some pinks and so it's really, really cool looking. But usually with this, you're gonna get blue, maybe a little bit of magenta with the 720. With the 830, you're not gonna get anything. You're gonna get a very contrasty black and white image. The 720, again, you're gonna get, I do a lot with the blue and white, depending on the scene that I'm doing, and then also black and white. Now what's cool with black and white infrared photography is that any foliage that you have is going to be white, and it actually really makes it pop. A lot of people, they may not realize it's an infrared black and white until you tell them that the foliage is white. Then they'll be like, oh wow, okay, because normally in a regular black and white it'll be some sort of shade of gray, but it's going to turn, the greens are going to turn white. It's actually really, really cool looking. So anyway, 720, it's magnetic, which I believe Maven was it has to be one of the first ones to do a magnetic infrared filter. Okay, now here we are. This is what your image will look like in camera. Most likely, you're going to have to switch over to manual focus. Now, I love this Canon R5 Mark II and also the Mark I. They have this little focus assist. So if you take your arrows here and you can bring them in, and when they turn green, boom, you have yourself locked on. Now on my manual focus, it will not change, okay? The other thing, because an infrared filter is so dark, you're going to have to do a longer exposure. Now today is a somewhat bright day, so let me see if I can actually maybe go a little bit brighter. Right about there. There we go, let's try that. We'll see how that goes. But I'm going to do about a 25-second exposure. But you could see how the image is red, okay? And this is what it's going to look like when it gets out of camera. So don't think you did anything wrong. So let's take a picture. Okay, there you go. There's what your image would look like. And let me see if I can hit this over here. Boom. All right. So this is what your image is going to look like. Okay, which means I got to change my battery. Haha, battery's going dead. But there's your image. So what I would then do is bring it into like Photoshop or even Lightroom. You could do this in. Now there are other brands that make infrared filters. Hoya is probably the most popular one they have. I think it's called an R72. Now the one thing about the Hoya one, which it's weird, I used it on these lenses right here that I'm using right now, and you would get what's called a hotspot. And it's usually like right in the center, and it's like an overexposed portion compared to the rest of your image. And I don't know, it's something to do with the lens, and it's usually with zoom lenses. Usually if you use a prime lens, you won't have that problem. But I noticed with the Maven infrared filter, the 720, I'm not getting any hot spots at all with that filter. So I'm wondering that if it is the lens or if it's the filter itself that's causing it. Because I tell you, I've taken several photos already with this, the IR720, and I'll tell you, I have yet to get a hotspot on the thing. Now, usually if you get a hotspot, depending on where it is in your photo and what your scene is, you can usually go into Photoshop and use like generative fill, and you can, for the most part, get rid of it. There's other ways of doing it too, but it's a real pain in the butt. Now, by all means, I am far from an expert when it comes to infrared photography. If you want to really learn a lot about infrared photography, about getting a converted camera, or even the filters or how to edit, go check out Shea. I'll put a link in the description below. This guy is a genius when it comes to infrared photography. He has profiles that you're going to need. You can make your own profiles too, but you're going to need them for like Lightroom and Photoshop, so you can edit and transfer your photos to black and white and swap colors and all that kind of stuff. Personally, I just bought them. They're not hard to make, But I'm like, you know what? This guy did all this work to make this stuff. They're not that expensive. You can buy the profile for your camera. So if you've got 3 different cameras, just, you know, buy the profile for your camera, and then also the color swaps, because you got to swap the colors around. So the blues and the magentas and stuff like that, you got to swap them, because otherwise the sky will be magenta and then the trees will be blue. You want that to kind of swap out. If you're going to do black and white, then you don't really have to worry. You still probably should swap, just to kind of change it up a bit. It'll change your gradients, your shading in your black and white. So anyway, Maven Filters, fantastic. Again, check them out, website below.